What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's actually a nice day here on the East Coast, and in front of me is an Aston Martin DBX. Not just any Aston Martin DBX. This is the DBX707. Let's get into the review. All right, guys, so here is the 2023 Aston Martin DBX707 in the flesh, or in this case, the camera.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This car does have the exterior color of Aston Martin British Racing Green. It is that gorgeous color that I've done before on the V12 Vantage. It looks phenomenal out here in this sunlight. You can really see all of the flakes of metallic in the paint when the sun hits it. So what makes this truck different than the standard DBX? The main thing is going to be the looks and the motor. So standard on the DBX is the V8 motor that's shared with most other Aston Martins, such as the Vantage and the DB11. The same motor shared with AMG, pushing out 542 horsepower with 516 pound-feet of torque. Now with the DBX707, those numbers are significantly changed. It's the same motor, it's the same twin turbo V8 motor in here. However, it has been tuned and fiddled with, if you will, to push out a phenomenal amount of power. It's got 697 horsepower with 663 pound-feet of torque. So significant changes in the power numbers, and those are definitely numbers that you can feel the difference in. So huge shout out today to Long Island Sports Cars again for lending me this gorgeous Aston Martin. I'll put the link to the listing of this car in the description below, along with any other contact information for them. So if you are interested in this car particularly, feel free to message them and come and see it for yourself at the dealership. Now, jumping on to some of the decals on here, this has the Formula One World Championship decals. This is going to be the official medical car used for the Formula One, hence why it has the decals on it. I'm not sure if you can get this car and keep the stickers on there or if they have to take them off. I'm pretty sure if you're spending the amount of money that this truck costs, they'll probably let you keep the stickers. Anyway, jumping into the front end and some of the major differences between the 707 versus the standard DBX is going to be a more aggressive front end, along with more aggressive styling along the whole truck. So coming down here, you can really see some of the more aggressive looks. We have more aggressive front splitter on here. We still have that standard super wide nose area on here, just sucking in all that air, filling and cooling down that monstrous V8 that's in there. Again, almost 700 horsepower out of this truck. Along on the hood as well, we do have two hood vents up here, adding a little bit more stylized. It is obviously active and functioning. They do work. And then also on the wheels and the side end of the truck, there's more aggressive styling over here. Now jumping onto these wheels down here, these are the standard 22-inch wheels. You can option it out with 23-inch forged wheels. However, this one is the standard 22, but that satin paint in there is a $35-ish $100 option. I'll put the exact price up right here. This way you guys can see what the exact cost is, but that is an extra option. Otherwise, it's just going to all have that same brushed aluminum look on it. Also, the yellow calipers are an added option, and it does feature carbon ceramic brakes. This truck also does feature air suspension. So as of right now, it's at a lowered ride height, but it does raise up and lower down depending on the drive mode you're in. So when we hop inside of the truck, we will see the different drive modes that the truck does currently feature. Now coming here onto the side of the truck, we have a little bit more of that added styling. We have more vents on the side, helping with the aerodynamics of this truck. Again, it is a very, very fast truck. And then more gloss black, piano black finish trim down here, along with the same exact wheel on the back end. And now coming onto the back end of the truck, you can see it's a relatively similar look to the standard DBX. However, some major differences are going to be the lower rear end. You can really see the difference with the lower rear diffuser on here. Again, it's that gloss black finish, dual exhaust pipes on each end, and more gloss black down here. Also featured on the top end is carbon fiber. Up here we have this little wing area which is added on there compared to the standard DBX, giving it a more aggressive and sportier look. Also an option on here is the smoked out taillights. I'll put the exact cost of this option right there, and then now you guys can see that one. Let's go ahead and open up the hood on this. So with Aston Martins, if you're not familiar with them, the hood latch and release is on the passenger side. So when we look down here, we'll have a little handle. You can see it right here. Give that a pull, and now the hood's open. And then we open it up. So we have this monstrous hood on here. Again, it is a large motor in here. It is a very large truck. You can see how part of the fender flare actually pops up with the hood too. So it's not just your standard hood that would cut off here. You have all of this extra area right here that also lifts up. So it gives you a little bit of a cooler look, exposes the top right here and some of that fender liner in here. So here it is, your 4.0 liter twin turboed V8, again pushing at about 697 horsepower and about 670 pound-feet of torque. And of course it does feature your standard plaque in here, hand built in Great Britain, and the final inspection, in this case done by Mr. Rick Jones. Now many may be asking, in this case, how does this compare to the Lamborghini Urus? So the Urus actually features the V8 motor out of the Audi. So it has the same 4.0 liter V8, but it's featured in Audi. This one is from Mercedes, and that truck has about 650 horsepower, so roughly 50 horsepower less, with a very similar top speed on here at about 190 miles per hour. All right guys, so we are now inside of the 707. As per Aston Martin, it's a great feeling. Everything in here feels great, it looks great, it smells good in here too. So yeah, when you're in here, it is an excellent feeling. Everything from top to bottom is covered in luxury in this case. So the biggest difference I would say between an Urus and this one right here is dudes get scat packs and make it their entire personality. Don't be that guy. Anyway, so from top to bottom, this whole truck is just covered in luxury right now. He's still going at it. So on here you have full leather dashboard, you have a full Alcantara panoramic roof on here, you have everything is wrapped in leather in here. The steering wheel is full leather, it is heated, the seats are heated and cooled, we have perforations all over. This truck does have an excellent sound system in it as well. On top of that, we have all of this lovely carbon everywhere. We have carbon fiber in the center, we have carbon fiber around here, and we have carbon fiber actually within the door sills. So in the frame when you get into the car, where it has a little plaque where it says DBX, that is also filled with carbon fiber. So we have on the left side full leather, we have yellow stitching in here, we have your standard Aston Martin pull handle right here, which is made of brushed aluminum. Very nice feeling. Everything in here feels nice, nothing clicks or clanks in ways that it shouldn't. We have these on the steering wheel. On here we have all of your standard steering controls, volume, selections, radar, cruise control, etc. We have these beautiful brushed aluminum and a metal paddle shifters. They click extremely nicely, very similar to the V12 Vantage. This yellow stitching follows through the entire interior of the car. In the center console, we have a fairly standard infotainment system that's been shared with multiple other Aston Martin, so I really won't touch too much base on there. And then the gauge cluster in here is also digital. So one cool thing, as per a lot of other cars at this point, is that when you change your drive modes, this does change itself too. So I will be showing that momentarily. Jumping into the center area, we have this piano black finish, finished with carbon fiber in the center, along with all of your buttons to control everything in here. So you have your parking sensors, your camera, you have your traction control, along with your suspension button, and you also have your drive mode selector right here in the center too. So again, when I show that, we will show that button more. We have the center cup holders in the armrest in here. We have a fairly good space. We have a SIM card in there, one 9-volt charger, and 2 USB ports for charging devices or whatever you may need. Again, this is all leather. So one cool thing about the center armrest is that it has 2 individual slides on it. So if the driver wants their armrest to be a little bit higher up and the passenger wants theirs to be back more, you can do that, and vice versa. You can switch them around to however you want. Coming over to the passenger side, we have a glove box in here with a aluminum button to push, and it opens right down. It is a soft open glove box, and it is fairly spacious. Aston Martin is obviously known for not normally having glove boxes, so to have one in here, granted it is an SUV, is a plus. Let's close that up and let's show some of these different drive modes and what the center console has to feature. Also on the seats, we have, like I mentioned before, perforations on here. We have yellow stitching and a yellow embroidered Aston Martin headrest on every single one of the seats, including the rear. The rear seats are as well ventilated as they are heated. So let's go ahead, let's pull the camera into here and show you the different drive modes. All right guys, so let's close this up. Let's go ahead and start this. So we have the different drive mode screen in here. Here's our selector, everything in here. So right now this is open the trunk, but we will go ahead and click out of that. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So here's the different drive modes right here. It's gonna show on here as well as here. So when we give that a turn, you can see right on here that we have the sport mode on there, and the screens change a little bit. Go to the Sport Plus mode and the gauges completely change. They're now all red. Along on the top left, you can see it goes to Sport Plus. So their drive mode. And you can also hear the valves and the exhaust open up. So the exhaust is a Valvetronic exhaust. As you heard on that clip, you can hear them open up and close. So let's go ahead and show it on here as well. So again, on top of that, we have these different modes. It shows you what changes within the truck. Here's our GT mode. We have your standard individual mode right here. And then we have terrain mode. So again, because this is an SUV, it's expected that it should be able to drive in somewhat off-road terrain, being, you know, snow or whatever that may be, wherever this truck happens to find its home at. We'll put this back in GT mode. So again, that is the standard drive mode selection that this truck does offer. It's very nice. Everything again in here feels nice. Nothing clicks or clanks in ways that it shouldn't. Nothing feels cheap or anything like that made. That's one thing that Aston Martin has, I would say, over Lamborghini, is that the Uruses feel a lot more cheaper on the interior than these do. This is a luxury SUV that you can also take to the track. It feels like, you know, you have 700 horsepower underneath the hood. However, this is a truck that you can daily drive in comfort. It has extremely comfortable seats. It feels like, you know, especially when you're in this mode, it doesn't feel like you're driving anything crazy, but when you want to get on it, just simply turn this and get yourself into Sport Plus mode. So that's the biggest plus, I would say, with Aston Martin versus the Lamborghini is, again, as the brand is, it's the perfect mixture of a Bentley and, say, a Ferrari. It has sports and luxury combined, and it's mashed together in the most perfect way, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and let's jump into the rear trunk space. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the rear end. All right, guys, so here is the trunk space. It is a fairly simple trunk on here. We have your privacy cover here wrapped in leather. This ginormous area in here. Obviously, it is an SUV, so you can fit plenty of weekend bags and suitcases along with groceries if this is your grocery getter. This right here is finished in aluminum, and then we have more of that piano black finish on here. It is fully automatic. We have your privacy screen up here along with carpet in here. And then again, here's your latch to open it up, and here's how you close it. Let's go ahead and let's give this a close, and then let's wrap up this video. All right, guys, so here is the truck as a whole. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Before we end this video, though, we have to talk about the price. Now, this truck does have a very expensive price tag. It is relatively priced, though, to other trucks in its area, such as the Cayenne Turbo and the Lamborghini Urus. This one is unfortunately no exception to that price tag. This one right here has a price tag of about $265,000. Money, 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 money. But you are getting a lot of SUV for that price. You not only have a daily driver, but you have a sports truck. So it's the best of both worlds as compared to something like the Urus, which is more of a sports truck than it is luxury, and the Cayenne, which is more luxury than it is sports truck. Although I do love both of those trucks, I as well do love the DBX707. This truck right here is an impeccable machine, and it is honestly one of the coolest looking SUVs in my opinion, with the interesting lines and intricate features that it does have. So on that note, I'm going to wrap up today's video. Huge shout out again to Long Island Sports Cars. I will tag this truck in the description below with the listing and direct link to it. So if you are interested in checking this one out, you can for yourself. I appreciate everyone for tuning in today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post next. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care.